Everyone, it's Katrina from the Alluring Bee Boutique, and I'm back today to do part 2 of my product review for the BeebeeCraft.com website and the wonderful items that they sent me to check out. So we're going to work today on reviewing these beautiful rondelles. The item that I ordered were the 2x3 crystal rondelles. And they came in these beautiful opaque colors. You get 10 15-inch strands of 10 different colors. And each one works out to somewhere between 150 to 200 crystals per strand. The item code, in case you're interested, is EGLA-R048-2MM-M, the number 2. You can see here it says 10 strand. That means 2 millimeter. And the cost was only $5.99 for all of these little crystals. So I took most of them off the strand, but I saved this one because I wanted to show you guys a cool trick. All right, so as you can see, I started at the top. All of these strands at the bottom have the one little crystal that has been gone through twice to create like a stop bead. The easiest way I have found to deal with strands of beads is to take the scissors and cut it at the top. Just cut it right off. Then we're just going to slowly pull the crystals off the end. A little bit at a time, unless you really want them to fly all over, which I can't stand that. You can see I've got all my colors laid out, and I don't want to have to pick through them and pick them out. So I'm going to go a little bit slow. Just keep pulling them off. Then when the bare thread gets a little long, I just snip it. And I pull some more like that. And now I can probably safely just go ahead and pull all the rest of these off right into that pile. Nice and slow. So now I've got them all off except for this last one. And you can see that it has a thread bridge on the outside. The easiest way I found to deal with this is to get my little thread zapper, hold the crystal wrapped around my finger with that little thread bridge poking up, and I just take my little thread burner and I just burn through that little piece of nylon cord. Then you can just pull the bead right off, just like that. Perfect and easy. So I paused for a moment and I got myself out a couple of little tools. Because what I'd like to do is I like to take a look at the uniformity. Because when we're beading and bead weaving, or using any technique to make jewelry with beads, uniformity is key to what we're doing. Now, sometimes we don't want such uniformity. We might want a total organic look. But when you're purchasing supplies, that is one of the key factors that I like to look at. So I'm going to just start with each color, and I'm going to pick up several and put onto this little head pin. Then I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So what you're looking for is for all your beads to be very similar in shape and size, no odd men out, and these are beautifully done. They are the same size, they're really uniform, they look great lined up. The hole size is very similar on every single one. The finish looks good on each one. So to me, they're as good a quality as I can get at Hobby Lobby. Probably a lot better quality than you get at Walmart, places like that. Hobby Lobby carries a pretty good brand of crystal rondelles. The trouble there is you can't find colors in the different sizes. So I'm going to say that I'm going to give this color a wonderful thumbs up. I'm going to check each one, so just bear with me, and I'm going to pick up some of these mint ones. And what I'm going to do, once I pick up a few of them, is I'm going to throw one of these dark green ones back on. Because what you're going to see here, and I noticed that right away with these crystals, these dark green ones are quite a bit larger than the mint ones here. So I did some measurements. The dark green ones are about more like 2.5 by 3.5 millimeters. And I used my little handy dandy little caliper here to determine that. So the way you measure it is, I'll use one of the larger ones just because it's easier to handle with the caliper. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to measure the bead from the widest part. So the hole is facing, let me get it where you can see what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. So you want the bead hole facing up. I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm going to bring this caliper closed. So there I have it with the bead hole facing up. When I look at my mark right here, it shows count over, it's like 3.5. It's between the 3 and the 4 mark. And then you would measure it with the whole side facing. Let me get it in here. It's a little bit hard to do with these tiny ones. Then you would picture holes running this way. And then you will look at your mark, and it's way past the 2. So it's like 2.5. So they're a little bit different size, but they're uniform. All the larger ones are very uniform. So let's take that one off. Now we've got these little bit smaller ones, and these measure exactly on the 2 by 3. You can see a couple of them are a little bit smaller right here, but it's not really noticeable at all. I'll pick up a few more just so we can take a look at them. You can see that they still look good on the lineup. And what I'm going to do before I end this, I am going to stitch a strip of right angle weave using every single color so we can get a good look at how they look in beadwork. So those look pretty good. They're 2 by 3s. Let's move on to these little purples. I don't know exactly what to call this color, but I really like it. It's like a really dusty mauve. And the AB finish just sets it off really pretty. You can see that these are, they're smaller than the dark green once again, but they're fairly uniform in size. So I'm really happy with these. Now we come to these little mauve, burgundy ones. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I think these are the smallest ones on the strand. So the 10 strands altogether are not uniform, but each strand and each color is very uniform. I love this color, but I honestly think they're just a tad bit smaller than even those mauve ones there. So they're more like totally like a 2 by 2 or something, those ones are. But they're really pretty, and I already have plans for them. So I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to check each color for uniformity. The turquoise ones look great. Let's try the sky blues. They're really pretty. Love the opacity of these crystals. They're really well made. Those are beautifully uniform. Those sky blue ones are really like perfect. So I'm just picking randomly in spots throughout the pile too, so that I can test where, different beads off of different lengths on the original strand. And those look great. Let's try these little tiny ones here. I think these might be a tad bit smaller too. They're like a coral, but they have a really beautiful orange to them also. And look at that. They're really fabulous. The AB looks great. What a pretty contrast color that will make. Now these I really love too. I like gray. I do a lot of work with grays and then add a beautiful contrast. Let's pick a couple of from over here. Okay. So here's what these look like. I really dig that color. It's like a sand, almost like sand. It's beautiful, kind of sandy gray color with the beautiful sparkling finish. Look how uniform those are. This is an excellent deal, you guys. I strongly suggest that you check that out if you like using little rondelles as embellishments. So make great embellishments on beaded bracelets. They're great for earrings and many other things. So let's check out these yellow ones. This is the reason I ordered this set. Okay, so look at this. They are really pretty. They have a nice facet cut. All of them have a nice facet cut. They have a beautiful finish. The color is great. They're actually, the color is actually there. It's not painted on. I have seen some like Walmart where the color you could tell is painted. But if you look at the hull of these beads, you can see that the color runs all the way through on the inside. So they're really good quality. All right, guys, I'm going to pause for just a moment, and I'm going to work up this strip, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I am back, and I went ahead and worked up a double row of right angle weave, or flat cubic right angle weave if you prefer to call it that. Anyhow, so I started with the dark green color, which I knew to be a little bit bigger than the rest of these, and I did 2 rows, then 2 rows burgundy, mint, the purpley color, light blue, yellow, gray, darker blue, coral, and turquoise. And as you can see, this is how the results came out. These beads are really nice and uniform. Just from the look of it, you can easily distinguish my units of right angle weave. They look the same. They don't have any bigger bulgy beads poking out anywhere. The color is consistent. They look super good. The only difference out of the whole set was these dark green beads. They are just quite a bit larger, and you can see the difference it makes with the same 2 right angle weave units, or 4 altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4. The difference it makes just by being a 0.5 millimeter big on each side of the rondelle. However, they're really pretty. I'm totally satisfied with the uniformity, the color, the feel. The bead holes are not sharp and jagged. And when I was working up my units, I made sure to pick all around the pile, so I was getting a good random feel for the beads I picked up. I did not hunt for specific beads. I randomly picked, and look how pretty that came out. So I'm going to give a huge thumbs up to this pack of rondelles that came from BeebeeCraft. And once again, that item number is the EGLA-R048-2mm-M2. And for $5.99? I mean, you can't go wrong. So what you get between 150 to 200. There was exactly 150 of these larger ones. There was 193 of the burgundy ones. I'm going to assume that the rest of these have a similar count. They're way over 150 and much closer to 200. So that is a steal. And they are actually very, very good beads. All right, folks, so that is it for the rondelle portion. This is the end of part 2. In part 3, I'll be reviewing one of the other 3 products, either the seed beads, the Montes, and I think what I'm going to do for the flower beads is go ahead and do a little tutorial with some copper wire. So stay tuned for that info. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Head over to the AlluringBeadBoutique.com. Check out my blog. I have all my jewelry listed on my store now. And head over to BeebeeCraft.com and take a look around at what they have. Thanks for watching.